If I'm going to be candid, he should go out there and go wreck somebody's face.
This is LA Kings Fan Talk with your boys, Rodney, Rob, Darren, and Joe.
What's up, boys? How about them Kings? Kings clinch a playoff berth for the second time in 2 years. And our man in the field, Joe, was there to witness it all.
Yeah.
Joe, how was it watching the Kings clinch in Vancouver tonight on the glass?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Great seats. Best fan experience of the 4 games we went to by far tonight. Running on low energy. So,
Did you get any Canucks fans able to be proper hockey fans and try to talk smack to you?
nobody said a word to me at all. There were a lot of Kings fans there too, surprisingly. Nobody said a word to me except for that. I think I texted you guys the other day. I was walking out of the bathroom in Edmonton, and the guy's like, some younger guy is like, how? Uh, he's like, do you remember the first round of last year? I'm like, yeah.
Game 7 or
He's
something?
like, oh, he's like, yeah. What did you think about that? I'm like, yeah, it sucked. I'm like, but I also remember 2012 and 2014. He's like, yeah, well, that's history. I mean, that's a long time ago. I'm like, last year's history, a long time ago. Like, I don't know. It's the worst shit talking or, yeah, like, yeah, I felt bad for him. Like, if he was trying to, like, take a cut at me. But, anyways.
Well, just for some perspective here, Joe, I don't think people know, Joe went to the Vancouver, Seattle, Edmonton, and Calgary game.
You went on the road trip with the Kings, basically.
Yeah, just being specific here. I don't
Got it.
just in case people are a little confused. But you're saying Edmonton had your worst experience then?
No. That was, yeah. No, I think the worst experience was definitely Seattle by far for a variety of reasons. But the first being that we got into the arena, we couldn't find our seats we asked like 4 or 5 different ushers to point us in different directions. We walked around the whole stadium, and we had the same thing happen tonight too, where you can't walk, like you literally can't walk around the entire stadium. So we went the wrong direction, but we were told to go the wrong direction last night. And then we would go backwards. And then I was like losing my patience, go up to a guy, where do we go? He's like, well, I think you're in the Space Needle section. You go up those stairs. So we go up those stairs. And the guy's like, pulls out a map that I can't even read. I have 20/20 vision. And I'm like, he's like, I don't know. I can't see where to tell you where to go. I'm like, so we got to our seats after 10 minutes. That was in Seattle. And then when we got to our seats, the game was just boring as hell. The game itself was boring. The fans were dull as shit. And we left after the second period and went to a bar and watched the rest of the game. That's how bad it was. So, anyways, but yeah, ranking out of like all the games, tonight was the best by far. Like the seats we had in Edmonton were awesome. Same seats like that we had tonight on the glass in the corner. But this one I could like man spread. Like there was nobody near me except for the guy with the camera, shooting the game, whatever. And Edmonton, the people were very friendly. I mean, like Calgary was cool. I think Adriana would probably agree. Like because the arena there is like reminds me of like the Forum. Like it's just old, antiquated, whatever. It's got like charm to it, like. And we also, before we got there, discovered that they have happy hour up until 30 minutes before the puck drops. So you get like a $6 drink. Like you're never gonna get that in LA.
Which arena was the loudest and which one was the quietest?
This was the loudest for sure, and Seattle was the quietest for sure. Tonight, I bought beer from a guy walking down the aisle. Like, we don't get that in LA. And so I felt obligated to buy a beer from the guy because he's walking down the stands. I'm like, this is cool.
You're
You can
like
get a
you're like
beer.
that might be worth a small bout of gout, right? Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Or, yeah, a large bout of gout. I don't know what that means, but
Before we get into all the injuries, just talk about how we played tonight, especially after losing Ether and playing another game with only 5 defensemen. What do you think?
I mean, we played well enough to win the game, which is saying something because we haven't beaten Vancouver in, was it 5 years in regulation or something like that? Like, I know we have one shootout win or something. So I think it was, we had some timely goals, some nice goals from Iafallo, and we held on defensively. Corpusalo played a hell of a game, and that's all it took.
Cool. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, Corpusalo is played outstanding. He's played 3 of the last 4 games and was really, really solid in all 3 of those games. Unfortunately, he lost 2 of those, right? And just when I'm ready to say, okay, Corpy's our guy, and I think if you have to make a decision,
You're going into this now? This is going to be a question I was going to ask, but go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Copley played so awesome last night. He was so good. I'm willing to back off as of right now. I think it's going to be a game time decision when it comes
That's
to
what I'm saying. So I'm going to ask you guys right now. Say the playoffs start now. Do you play the guy with the far better numbers, or do you play the guy that all he does is win?
Well, isn't that a number though?
Yeah, to me, it is. I don't know. What do you do, Joe? Who do you play?
yeah, good question. I just keep doing what you're doing until there's a reason to.
So you're going to go in the playoffs and you're going to rotate?
All right. So my gut tells me to play Corpusalo because he's clearly the better goaltender. Like when they lost to Edmonton, it was 2-0, right?
Yeah.
He definitely played fucking great. I was sitting right there where he made some huge saves that I don't think Copley makes, and I don't know why. Like the team, I guess, presumably plays different in front of each of them. But funny when they got Corpusalo, I knew nothing about him. Like I remember, like the first or second game he played, I'm like, God damn, he like reminds me of Jonathan Quick. Like he does he not like? And then sure enough, here's some analysts saying as much, not saying he's like quick, but like athletic, this that. Um, he's like quick, but like
Tall.
more positionally sound. He's still athletic, but yeah, I don't know. To answer your question, I would just keep going with roll back to back until there's a like a real decisive reason to put one in over the other.
Has anybody done that? Has any teams rolled into the playoffs?
Yeah, they have. I know, like there have been teams. I know, like back, like when the Sharks had like Nabokov and God, I don't even remember who. I think it was another Russian, or maybe it was yeah, I don't know. There have been teams that have done that. I know, like the Wild, they didn't go anywhere, but the Wild had like Rolison and Manny Fernandez that they would roll back and forth like regular season, like one, back to back, and play them 40 games each or whatever.
What do you think, Darren? Would you do that? Would you roll into playoffs rotating the goalies like that, or what?
I don't see why you couldn't. I mean,
well, why are you going to change anything? I guess is the point. Like, why are you going to change anything if it's it's working, right?
For sure. If it's, I mean, and you could take it on a case by case situation too. If Corpusalo goes out and has a good game and Copley has a good game, then you play him. You keep rotating.
All right, let me ask you the question differently then. What would you do if you were the coach?
what would I do?
Would you
I would
rotate
play
him?
Corpusalo. I would play Corpusalo game 1, and I would probably lean towards playing Corpusalo game 2. But
No matter what happens in game 1.
I mean, that's what I was just gonna say. If you think you have a better shot with Copley, play Copley. I don't think there's any controversy if he plays one goalie and then plays the other goalie. Like, that's how we've done it since I've been here. I mean, one guy has played 2 games in a row, right? In that stretch. That was it. So, like,
yeah. And how did that go?
We lost both games.
Yeah. So, Rob, what would you do?
Well, if it's today, Corpusalo.
What if it's tomorrow?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's Copley's day tomorrow.
No, I'm not, if I am not rotating them, I'm sticking with, hey, we got you. I think what it comes down to is we went out and got Corpusalo. He's experienced. He's won a playoff series before, and he's playing well enough for me to say, this is our guy. And then it's short leash time. It's if he looks tired, if he has a bad game. But if
Has he had a bad game?
For us, no. He has not.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, that's all I'm saying is, like, to me it's clear as day he's the better goalie, but
well, here's the thing. Since we've got Corpusalo, he has played every other game except for the back-to-backs.
Right.
The 2 losses. And those are the 2 losses. He has not given up more than 2 goals.
yeah, I was going to say that.
True.
Where Copley hasn't had a bad game except for just one. Yeah, he's had one bad game, and it was a win.
Yeah.
So
it's a good problem to have, honestly.
Who would have thought?
Right?
Yeah, and so then Thursday's coming up too, and then we got to deal with all that baggage.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Thursday.
Thursday is the Vegas game.
Is there any way that the Knights do not play Jonathan Quick against us?
Yes. Brossois has played the last 2 games for them.
Yeah, when Corpusalo should be playing against Quick, or regardless of Quick plays or not, Corpusalo should be playing that game. Just to, if you're Rob Blake, like, this is my horse. No, I'm serious. This is my horse. I traded you for this guy, and if they don't want to put Quick up against him, so be it. But that's why I traded you.
Yes.
I don't know. Am I making sense, or am I being an asshole?
No.
I love Quick.
Absolutely.
I love Quick, and
Both can be right.
Yeah.
I think the only question is, do you want to play Corpusalo against Edmonton again? And then if you do, then do you want to play him 3 in a row?
Right. We're Copley. I'm thinking they're going to play Copley.
We made the playoffs.
Edmonton.
I don't even care about all that crap anymore.
Okay. Well, that's another question. But before anyway, go ahead. Go with what you're saying, Rob, and then we'll go over that.
No, that's all I'm saying is Copley's playing. If they're going back and forth, Copley plays against Edmonton on Tuesday, and then Corpusalo plays against Vegas on Thursday.
All right. Before we get into the injury nightmare that's happening, Darren, do you think should the Kings hold anybody out in the Edmonton game? Since they don't get called for penalties, they have free will to try to injure our players. Do you hold anybody out?
I think Fiala, if it takes him grimacing and being in pain to play, why play him? Let him get healthy.
I want to sit him. I want to sit him until the playoffs. I don't even want him playing anymore.
Yeah. That's when I have a real beef with the coach. Like shut that guy down. Like, dude, like, that guy's such a key part of the team. Yeah. The dynamic offense that we have, shut that guy down. That guy shouldn't even, if he's got a problem, he should not be playing like the rest of the season, as far as I'm concerned.
So Darren, you're saying play everybody but keep Fiala out for that game.
Fiala, I mean, anybody who's already hurt, if they're not even close to being 100%, keep them out. What's the point? And
All
then
right,
just
so
play everyone. Like, who cares? I mean,
I know I'm like dominating the conversation right now, but I just want to interject to say that McEwen dude should be out on the ice against Edmonton the next game and should.
well, he was dressed for the game in Edmonton,
Yeah,
but he
he
played
I
played. He
he
know
played
played.
that.
the
He
I
next
played
know
game.
like
that. I
one
know
minute.
that.
Yeah.
He did nothing. If I'm going to be candid, he should go out there and go wreck somebody's face like immediately as soon as the puck drops, or not even that.
How
Wait 10
dare you,
minutes.
Joe? How
Wait 10 minutes and crush somebody's. It doesn't have to be McDavid. Crush somebody that means something into the boards. Hurt
anybody
one of
that
their
wishes
players. I
harm
mean,
upon
because you know
another
what? I
human
had to ask
being?
that question. I was sitting at that game and watch that happen, and then had to ask Adriana like what happened, because I heard the crowd and I saw Mikey Anderson get up, and I didn't even know until like later that. And truth be told, I had a few beverages, so I had the next day texting like, and Rodney's like, yeah, McDavid is the one who did it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now, I'm not saying like there should be a mark on McDavid's head, even if there were. Good luck trying to hit the bullseye there. Somebody's got to pay the piper, right? That's all I'm saying. Or,
Absolutely.
or are we a team of queens?
You're preaching to the choir here.
Right. I was most disappointed in Coach. His response to it was not playing McEwen the rest of the game. I'm like, what are you doing? We need him out there.
Yeah.
Try to lay the law down a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. So
If
yeah, you're more
if he's going to be on
observant
the
than I
roster,
am.
he's got to play in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to address him in that situation
Yeah,
specifically,
like
that's what he's here for.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, that's mind blowing.
What do you think, Rob? Play everybody or hold some people back, like Fiala or?
Well, I think the question has to be asked: do we want the number one seed?
Right. What's more important, us going into the playoffs healthy, or trying to get that number one seed, getting home ice advantage?
And so,
Tough
and
question.
that's the thing. So, Fiala is the only one that knows what Fiala can do. And if Fiala is saying he's available and I'm the coach, I'm playing Fiala because Fiala told me I'm good to go, coach. And I want to win the number one seed. If he's sitting there, just saying that as a rah-rah, and I have a trainer telling me he's not 100%, well then yeah, maybe I do rethink some things and not put him in the lineup. But it's all hands on deck. I'm still going to try and manage the roster as best as I can and understand that just because we've clinched playoffs, there's still a bigger piece of the pie out there that I want to go eat.
Right. Let's talk about Edmonton. Let's talk about the Edmonton game and what went down and just the whole history since we played them last year in the playoffs. Why don't you go ahead and start off, Rob? I know they're your favorite.
Okay. Well, this is all I know is the game before last, Connor McDavid was so frustrated, especially with Mikey Anderson, because we were shutting him down. He took a boarding penalty and tried to train wreck Adrian Kempe. And he got kicked out of the game. And because it was a blatant screw you, I'm going to try and hurt somebody.
Right in the numbers.
Right in the numbers and get out of the game. Yeah. So now he doesn't even wait to get frustrated with Mikey Anderson. He sees an opportunity to run him through the boards with complete intent to injure. And I don't care what the players say on the ice saying, it didn't seem malicious. Well, that's because you guys are playing and it's 100% malicious. And it was calculated and it was to a guy that they wanted to do it to. And so Connor McDavid runs him through the board, injures Mikey Anderson, and nothing's called. Nothing's called. And
So they
so,
called a penalty.
well, yeah, a 2-minute penalty, sure.
Yeah.
It was borderline attempted murder.
Power.
But for it to be,
But you know what? To that point, Rob, like honestly, if Mikey Anderson did that to McDavid, all the hockey media would be like, "How horrible is this?" and blah blah blah.
absolutely,
And you know what? And Mikey Anderson would have got 6 games for
absolutely.
sure.
While this is going on, the Twitter page posts a little, hey, repeat offenders, because he is a repeat offender now. This is the second game in a row he's done it to us, right? And so I said they need to be suspended.
What did he do before?
He did to Adrian Kempe.
Okay.
And you look at Draisaitl and all he does, and all what they did in the playoffs, Cassian and all that stupid stuff.
The Cassian, the Kane. That's what I'm so laughing at. All of these Oiler fans coming at us on Twitter.
Talk about how dirty the Kings are.
It's like you have Evander Kane on your team. And during the playoffs last year, they're talking about Mikey Anderson, and they're calling it a slew foot. Mikey Anderson just hogtied him and pulled him down. There were no,
So and then crybaby Edmonton fans trying to make stuff up.
Oh my God! So I'm sitting there going, okay, don't respect Mikey Anderson. I'm okay with that. If you think what he did was dirty, okay. I don't respect McDavid anymore.
Did Darnell Nurse get anything for headbutting Deneau in the face? What about that?
That was so
Yeah, he got a
terrible.
game.
So dirty.
Yeah, he got one game for that, but still, that was as ugly as it got. There was no call on that play either. But the eye gouging, the head hunting, the kneeing that Kane did in the playoffs last year, that alone.
Dirtiest team in the NHL, Rob?
Yeah, and the stupidest fans, 100%. And I swear, guys, I'm fat and old and whatever. Come at me in real life, really. If you wear your Oiler jersey, so I know, give me fair warning. Come get some.
There are a bunch of wussy keyboard warriors. Look at Joe was out there representing in Edmonton. Nobody even said anything to him because it's in real life. So
they're a bunch of teenage idiots that know nothing about hockey.
Typical, probably because they're Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, we're Canadian, so we know everything, right?
Yeah.
Just absolute jackasses. The Oiler fan base is 100% top of my list of most hated fan bases.
So they bypass. Who do they just bypass? They bypass the Leafs and the Canucks.
The Ducks.
Ducks.
Obviously. I sat there and actually tweeted that I used to have respect for McDavid because I hated Draisaitl so much because McDavid looks like kind of a stand-up kind of guy compared to Draisaitl because Draisaitl is such just a rat, an absolute rat, a sneaky, just dirty ass player.
Sometimes
it's funny because like I remember seeing people compare him like when he was younger to Kopitar, and I can see like in terms of the way like they play like skating or whatever offense, this that but in terms of the actual person competitor, however you want to put it, not even close. Like Kopitar is a saint, an angel. Like I'm saying it from a Kings fan's perspective, but I think most hockey fans would agree that like when is Kopitar ever looking at the ref, yelling, chirping the ref, or looking over his shoulder like, oh, that wasn't called. Like
no. Kopitar is respected around the league though.
He's earned that respect. He's definitely hall class all the way. It's definitely. I think but what sucks is people are looking past the poor behavior of McDavid and Draisaitl. They're allowing it because they haven't won anything. and it's like that's even more reason to hate them.
Well,
for
and
being-
they're like excellent hockey players, so they're
That's-
letting the
yeah.
skill cover it up. But if they were fourth liners, they wouldn't get away with any of this stuff. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the injury situation. Let's talk about Mikey Anderson. How bad is that injury for us, Darren?
I mean, depends on how long he's out. It's a concussion, and those things you never know with them. They could be, a couple games. It could be, heaven forbid, a month or more. So, it's a pretty big injury. I mean, he's definitely our best defensive defenseman, and
And with
really crucial to our defensive core. So
with Eller going down, you see probably Toby's going to be in the next game. Probably you can't roll with the 5 right-handed defensemen, right? So
we're nearing emergency call-up of Brent Clark territory, which might perk up Rob over there.
What do you think, Rob?
Well,
Sucks. Just say it sucks and leave it
Yeah,
at that.
I mean, yeah, it absolutely sucks. I mean, if it doesn't even warrant calling up more righties, there's nothing we can do about it.
One positive out of this is that we've seen Gavrikov pretty much play with every other defenseman now, and he just slots right in wherever he plays fine. So that's good to see. It doesn't matter who his partner is.
I will say, I think Sean Walker today looked decent not playing with Edlin. So
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
yeah. I said Sean Walker looked decent today playing not with Edlin.
And can you stand up and turn around and show us your Walker jersey?
No, it's Dowdy for sure.
And I saw that Jersey's stats are actually looking better when he's playing next to Roy. So Roy's actually making Jersey look a lot better, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, what about our forwards? Does anybody have any inside info on Velarde?
I mean, he fell and hit his back.
I mean, we're all
Like
assuming it's
5 games
concussion,
ago.
right? Or something like that.
Concussion.
Spine.
Concussion. He has a history of back problems, and that'd be the fear. Is
But those
whatever.
that's lower back though, and this is like everybody's thinking it was like his neck, upper back. So maybe it's
I don't know. I
something
thought he hit the boards just on his back, and I don't know if he whiplashed or not. I didn't rewatch the play. I just remember him hitting the boards on his back. So, I mean, could be concussion, could be back. I don't know.
Yeah, on the injury tip though, losing Anderson's huge. Like he's so steady. In the not that you want to lose a player, but the Kings could afford to lose Velarde, even though you don't want to. There's a glut of forwards that are capable, slotted in various positions. Kings don't have that luxury with defense, so hopefully he gets better. I'm going to guess he'll be fine, hopefully by playoffs, unless it was something very serious. I mean, it looked pretty bad when I watched the replay. But
Thank you, Dr. Joe. I feel a lot better now.
yeah, no, but well, yeah, whatever. Yeah,
No, I
Point
really
being-
hope you're right.
point is-
We definitely need him back.
yeah. So, anyways,
All right, we good on the injuries?
Yep.
I say Fiala's jacked up, shut him down, but I don't know. Like Rob said, if he's telling the coach he's good,
yeah, I say shut them all down. Anybody that looks, yeah.
anybody
There's
that's
no reason-
gimping,
Why would you play anybody that yeah? What is there to gain right now?
yeah, we went.
Put it this way: you can shut Fiala down. You can shut down Mikey Anderson. Obviously, he has to be shut down. Just play those guys. They'll
Get
get you to
some
where
20 minutes. He'll put up like a hat trick and maybe 2 or 3 more and win games.
All right, can we do a quick little who's hot, who's not segment?
Yeah, of course.
Let's do that. You want to start with hot? Just pick whatever player you think is playing great right now. Joe, who's your one guy you think is playing great right now? And I think I know who you're going to say, but
I follow.
nice. So I follow scored a beautiful goal right in front of you today. Am I right? Or are you on the other side of the ice at that time?
Yes, they're right in front of us.
Right in
yes.
front of you. I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice little tic-tac-toe back and forth across the ice there. That was good.
Yeah, I thought it was Kempe because there's a lefty, and I saw the 9, and it was the one timer. But yeah,
No, we can't blame you. I mean, you were getting beers from people in the aisles. You know, you can't keep up. It's all good. Rob, who's your guy? Who's hot?
Sean Dursey.
Nice. Are you wearing a necklace to support him today?
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
In spirit. In spirit.
Yeah. Sure. You know, he's got the 4 points in the last 4 games on the road trip.
Does that make up for the 2 points in the?
Not at all. We're still chasing that. Joe, we would be in first place if we had that 1 point.
Yeah, we would have clinched before Edmonton if it wasn't for that. Come on.
I'm surprised we didn't hear about the mistake he made on the power play to get up the Connor McDavid trying to go.
It was bad, but yeah.
I can't believe you didn't say Grunstrom right now either.
Yeah,
Joe.
that's what I thought he was going to say.
Oh, well, yeah. So to that point, like I know I was a huge Grunstrom guy. He's been given rope, and you know what? I thought he had like top 6 potential, and maybe he does, but I don't think there's no chance that you get rid of that guy. I mean, they might have to just because of cap reasons. Somebody might see like the value that he has, but if you can keep that guy like at $1 million or $2 million on the third or fourth line, dude, that guy's money. Like, brings the physicality, the effort, and he can score goals.
Okay, I'm going to change my guy because I was going to say Grunstrom because you didn't take him, but I'll change mine. But I'll let Darren go first.
I'm going to say Corpusalo.
Nice.
I don't know if we do goalies too often here, but he's playing really well. So
I'm actually going to say Copley. Like, you know, it took a lot for him to get this number 1 goaltender comes over, and you're like, you did great for us, but you're probably going to be, you know, the second goalie now. And then when he does get his chance to play, which is, you know, every other game pretty much, he all he does is win, baby. All he does is win. So good on him. And then if you were to ask me that just based on today's game, I'm going to throw Kaliv in there because I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, come on, Kaliv. You need to step up. This is your chance. You're getting more time. You need to do more than just to be a power play threat with your one-timer, right? So and the game wasn't going good, but when he made that power move, he didn't score on it, but he made that nice power move to the front, almost scored on it, and then came back later on and scored, and then got an assist later on. I'm like, there you go, Kaliv. I like it.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the dirty. Let's get into who is not hot.
Call someone out. Maybe it'll light a fire.
Yeah. Who wants to start on this one?
Darren. I want Darren to start on this one.
Call somebody out, Darren. Don't be nice.
Can I call out a line?
No, one.
No, that's like cheesing out of it.
Well, I mean, it's Kempe.
Okay.
I think it's Kempe, and it's all 3 of them, but it's Kempe for sure.
Nope.
He hasn't done anything very much the last little bit, so
that's it. He just hasn't done anything much. That's your.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he had a
next?
couple of physical plays today, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So
Who you got, Joe?
I would say Trevor Moore and piggyback off Darren, that whole line. But I was gonna say no, but like Trevor Moore, since he's come back from injury, he scored what, a goal, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So that's
a good one. That's a good
fresh
one.
Off fire.
Rodney, you go.
I might hurt your feelings here, Rob, but I am going to say Quentin Byfield.
Ooh, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
What does he have? Like 1 goal in his last 30 games? How can you simultaneously be the biggest guy on the team and the softest guy on the team at the same time? Makes absolutely no sense to me. Constantly loses the puck. Still doing the deer and Bambi headlights. Gets knocked off the puck all the time by guys way smaller than him. His best asset is he makes some good passes every once in a while. But I do not like what I'm seeing. I don't like the way it's looking. I know that line has done a little better since he's been on there. He's got a lot of his plus minus went up. I'll tell you right now, my plus minus would go up if I played with Kempe and Kopitar too. But all right, I need to slow down. I'll just calm down a little bit. Rob, who's your guy? You
were going to take. I was actually going to bang on him a little bit, and
feel free to jump in and then pick a guy.
So many people like I said, he's the most polarizing player on our team because ever since he's been put on that top line, our top line's taken off, but a lot of people can't stand the fact that we drafted him second and he only has 3 goals. And then I take a look at guys like Grundstrom and Kaliev, who both have, a dozen goals on the season, playing literally 10 minutes a game on the fourth line and have only played 50 games.
Right.
So how many goals would Grundstrom have scored if he is that
Right.
winger with Kopitar? Would he be making that line go as Byfield? We'll never know. We're just saying Byfield makes that line go ever since he's been there, but who's to say Grunstrom couldn't do the same thing and score
Yeah,
a lot more goals?
and I know I'm like a fan of his, but I just wish he'd be given that opportunity at some point.
And that's what I was getting at, Joe, is who's to say, everyone that's saying Quentin Byfield has made that top line go, which I'm with it. I get it because that's what the numbers say. But I'm on the other side of it saying, well, who's saying that Grunstrom couldn't have done the same or Kaliev couldn't have done the same?
Sure, yeah,
And between those 3 players, all 3 of them are completely different players.
yeah.
And so bottom line is Byfield is a top line winger that only has 3 goals. That's a problem.
Yeah, and Grunstrom has how many in that time
12.
period?
They for the whole season. If you just go for the whole season, Byfield has 3 goals on the season. Grunstrom has 12 goals on the
I didn't
season,
realize that.
With far less minutes.
and
Yeah,
Kelly
that's crazy. That's crazy.
and Kelly
Yeah.
has 12 on the season as well.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, that's where I have a problem, with coach, for sure.
But like I said, just because we're saying this doesn't mean that if Grunstrom was on that top line, he probably just doesn't fit, and maybe he only has 2 goals on the season. Who knows? This is armchair. This is why we're doing this, right? So
Yeah. Obviously, like all that stuff. But you like to like at least see like it happen, right?
right.
See the experiment. But
Yeah.
I'm fully on board that like if and when Grunstrom moves on, like he's going to be like a decent to good player for another team.
Yeah.
So,
Productive.
Rob, I know you jumped onto my player, but did you ever pick your player?
No, I picked him again too. He
We
deserves
doubled up.
to be
We
called.
doubled up.
He deserves to be called out twice.
Right.
So we got Edmonton at home. We drive up the 15 to Vegas. Then we come back home for Colorado, Vancouver, and finish the series, the season with Anaheim. We did point predictions last time, and we were all really close, by the way, in that 12 points. They got 10 out of the 12 points when we were talking about it. So that means there are 5 games left, 10 points available. So along with how many points we're going to get in those 10 points, I want to know, are we where we're finishing, first, second, or third? So we'll start with you, Rodney. Last 5 games, how many points are we getting, and where are we finishing?
Finishing second, we're getting 6 points because of our injuries.
Wow. Okay. Darren?
Say 7 points out of the 10, finishing second as well. I think, unfortunately, I think Edmonton's playing really well, and I think they're going to take first in the division. We'll leapfrog Vegas, both of us.
Joe?
I'm gonna be a pessimist. They're gonna finish third. They'll get let's say 4 or 5 points.
Wow.
Just to call 5.
All right. So
You laid that up there perfectly for Rob. He wanted to be the one person that says Kings are going undefeated, finishing first. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead and say it.
we're going to mollywop Edmonton. We're going to mollywop Vegas. We're going to slap Colorado like we did last time. Vancouver will get the loser point. And then we're going to just absolutely demolish Anaheim. and we're going to finish and win our second division title in franchise history.
Pacific Division title too.
Yep. So I feel it. I believe it. Them are my Kings. We're going to do it.
Well, they're going to be in the playoffs regardless, so that's all I care about.
Oh, by the way,
And I did go 2-0 to finish the road trip.
yes,
and
I was a little disappointed with you
We're
too.
so worried about
I was
you,
going to
Joe.
say something.
disappointed in me. I have nothing to do with it.
What I'm saying is, how much would that have sucked if you went 0-4 up there?
You know what? Like the thing is, the silver lining was like when I booked the trip, I'm like, which was back in October. I'm like, I just hope the Kings are like relevant then, because otherwise it's really gonna suck.
All right, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks to Joe for joining us from America's Top Hat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That is our show for today. Until next time, stay classy. Go Kings, go!
I hate you, Oilers.
Yeah.
Darren, just give me one Go Kings go.
Go Kings.
There we go.